Welcome back to Stooge Dream. This is Making an Impact, your weekly Global Force Wrestling review / recap show. We're talking about the episode of Impact Wrestling that aired on the 10th of August 2017. I am your host, The Stooge. As always, I'm joined by the first male of professional wrestling podcasting. He is G-Banks.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
What are you doing?
I'm just quickly finishing this level.
The PlayStation's not on.
But I'm just quickly finishing it. Give me a second.
How hungover are you?
A little bit.
Pretty seedy?
Pretty seedy, but doesn't matter. Let me just...
Put the controller down. Put it down. So let's start the show. We opened up with a Veterans of War and L.A.X. backstage brawl.
A backstage brawl?
It was a backstage brawl. I haven't seen a good backstage brawl in a while.
Long time now.
So this is leading up to the match. Later on in the evening, it's going to be a tag team match in a street fight for the titles, L.A.X. versus Veterans of War.
America versus South America.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We have a Sienna and Rosemary promo package showing Sienna retaining the title. Sienna is in the... Yeah, we'll get to that. Sienna's in the ring. She's staging a sit-down protest until Karen Jarrett comes out. How majestic
did she look, by the way?
I have to admit, Sienna looked really good. So it's a sit-down protest promo calling out Karen Jarrett. She wants to know who she's facing at Destination X next week. Karen comes out, cuts a "I don't like you, I don't think anyone likes you" promo on Sienna.
I can do the same thing about Karen.
It wouldn't be hard to turn it around, would it?
No.
Even I'm going to agree with that. But what I like is the fact that her opponent is going to be none other than Gail Kim.
No, that's not a big surprise. It's not like we saw her last week or anything and had a big promo package. Yeah. The week before that, no.
Not at all.
No, not a surprise.
So this leads to a
I'm so
Gail
shocked.
Cuts a promo, there's a brawl, goes back and forth, there's a pull apart, and Gail stands tall with the titles in
Sienna
the ring.
would have had her.
Well, it was a pull apart, so we don't know.
Yeah, but Sienna would have had it easy.
I don't know.
It was lucky the refs...
Gail Kim's the greatest of all time.
Lucky the refs came.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see for Sienna next week.
And she retains it.
Yeah, sure. So next up we had Grado and Joseph Park backstage. They're hyping up their...
Death.
Yeah.
Funerals.
Yeah, so they're having a handicap match, the two of them versus Congo Kong. And I still don't think they've got enough people.
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope.
Next up, we actually had the first tag team match of the evening because we had a couple on the show. It was Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid versus Mara Fuji and Phantasma. Phantasma.
Oh, trying to sound more authentic.
This was a fantastic match with innovative offense. People from all over the world. People representing AAA. People representing Noah. People representing Impact Wrestling. This was great. It really did have the lucha style.
It was a good match. Like, as a flat Earth theorist, as myself, I did enjoy it.
Wait, what?
Because it was a global match. And, like, you know, I don't like...
Not gonna. Just keep going. Keep talking.
Keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a global match, you know, because it's all, you know, they think it's the world's a globe. I was a bit pissed off about that. But besides that, the match was pretty interesting. It was good.
So this was very much a lucha-style match with some innovative offense, some stuff I've never seen before, some great tag team maneuvers from people like Marufuji and Phantasma had some great chemistry for a team I don't think I've ever seen before.
I don't think they've wrestled with each other before.
Or together.
Yeah, together.
So it was a really interesting combination, and I really enjoyed the...
I thought it was going to be 3-on-1 when they all first came out. I was like, why is it the Mexicans versus the Japanese guy?
Kind of.
That's not fair.
Yeah. I did like that there was a mix of a little bit of hard hitting from Phantasma, who's much bigger than the other guys, and obviously Marufuji, who's the crazy Japanese dude. And there was that mix of high flying.
He's not a hard hitter.
He does do those hard kicks. So.
He does hard kick, but that's just not. That's like you expect that from Japanese wrestlers. But he's not
amazing.
He doesn't do hard.
Kick.
Yeah. He doesn't do hard. He has his own weird style.
Yeah, very much his own style. It is interesting to watch. And Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid do their usual flips and so forth.
You know, if he goes under my belt, you know, I can teach him a few things. He can go high places in this company.
What? What's that got to? Never mind. Moving on. Marufuji ends up getting the win with a sliced bread on Garza Jr. It was a great finish as well. It looked really good. Again, I thought this was just a fantastic match overall.
All in all, yeah.
So
I enjoyed it.
You're going to agree with me for once.
I liked it, yeah. I'm not agreeing with you. I liked the match. Probably a lot of other people agree with it, but I just liked it more than everyone else.
People mark this moment in history. It doesn't happen too often where we agree on something.
I hate it, though, too.
We've got the weird new tag team.
Blink 182.
Yeah. Ohio versus everything. Is OVW like going to do an invasion angle or something, maybe?
Isn't Blink 182 from Ohio?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I hope not.
Well, I can't wait for their next album.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Name one of their albums.
No.
Next up, we had a handicap match. The one we were speaking of earlier, it's Grado and Joseph Park versus the Beast Congo Kong.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what you expected it to be.
This was a great match. I loved it.
This was Congo Kong just squashing the shit out of two human beings.
Ah, it was a handicap match.
It was great. Yeah, Joseph Park and Grado were definitely handicapped versus Congo Kong.
To an extent.
Again, this is exactly what you think it is. This is the comedy portion of the evening. This is the fun portion of the evening.
This was one of the greatest matches I've watched in TNA history.
Okay. It ends with Congo Kong doing a cross-body splat on Joseph Park.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the pin. Congo stacks up Grado on Park. Goes to do the jumping top rope splat. Laurel comes running down and stops him. I think Laurel may actually have a thing for Grado.
No, she doesn't want to see Grado die.
She's got a thing for Grado.
I just don't think she wants to see Grado die. That's
I don't know. He's a bit of a party boy. She likes to party.
I don't know. And anyway, I think he's stop dancing.
Laurel stops him. Congo's angry. She slaps Congo. He's about to power slam Laurel because he's just pissed at this point.
He wasn't going to power slam her. He was just picked her up.
It looked like, but he never got the opportunity because the hero of the night was Tyrus.
Big tie.
Tyrus smash came down, got in Congo Kong's face. Here's the thing that it looked great, and I think Pope said it looks like Godzilla versus King Kong. I'm like, kind of did, but what I thought looked fantastic is Tyrus is actually a couple of inches taller than Congo Kong. It's the first time something bigger than him has been in the ring
and approached him. But Congo Kong, no fuss. He can take care of him. His face bigger and then come out eaten alive.
It seems like he wanted a piece, but Laurel stopped him and dragged him away before anything happened.
Lucky for Tyrus.
I want to see that.
I would love to see that.
I want to see Tyrus versus Congo Kong.
Battle of the Giants.
Really badly now.
Yeah, Battle of the Giants.
Really badly. And I didn't think I wanted to see that, but they showed me a second of it, and now I want to see that. Like, that's, you know what I mean? You know when somebody shows you something you didn't even know you wanted?
Yeah.
And you're like, I want that so bad.
Like when you're on Pornhub, right? And then you go through like those playlists, and then you go through the screens, and there's those locks.
Just stop.
What? But
stop.
But it's a good.
Shh.
It's a good explanation.
Shh. No more. So we're backstage with Trevor Lee, Loki, and Lashley. They're going to be part of the 6-man tag team main event. They're there with Interview Bot. Each of them get a moment in. It's basically, this is your go-home show before Destination X. So they're building towards their Destination X matches with Trevor Lee calling out Sanjay Dutt. Loki.
You know what? You know me. I don't like the X Division, but I've been enjoying the Super X Cup.
Yeah, the Super X Cup is good.
Yeah, the Super X Cup has been fun.
Yeah. But why are we talking about that yet?
No, I'm just talking about, you're talking about leading up to Destination X.
Oh, okay. So you just completely, all right. Yep, sweet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too, dude. It's going to be fantastic. But why don't we talk about that when we get to the Super X Cup match on the show?
Well, why can't I talk about it now?
Because we're going to have to go over it all again later.
Fine.
Okay. So this was just a really good backstage interview, giving a bit of heat to the heels. Thought it was really well done. Interview Bot got out of the way really quickly. And she didn't get called random white girl number 5 this week. So good for Mackenzie.
No, I wanted her to be called that. It was funny.
It was hilarious. Conan is the best.
He's had some good one-liners.
Conan is the greatest. All right, so next up we had the Trevor Lee Sanjay Dutt promo package. It's building up to their X Division title match at Destination X. who will be the rightful retainer of the X Division title.
Trevor Lee.
What? No, of course not. Are you stupid?
What do you mean? Trevor Lee's at the first
What?
place.
No.
Dude, he didn't get the rematch he deserved. Of course it's his.
Okay, no, it's Sanjay Dutt's.
It's not Sanjay
He
Dutt's.
never lost it.
He did lose it.
He
That's why it's around
should
Trevor Lee's
have it
waist.
now.
Nope.
Okay. Dutch Mantel has a new interview segment. It's called Getting Down and Dirty with Dutch.
It's the next porno I'm making.
Oh, dude, I want to see that so bad.
I'm going to call up my boy Dutch and see if he's
Dutch
interested.
on his walker.
Yeah, Dutch on his walker. And he's got a pizza too. And he's like, hey, I'm late to...
Wheels in on his little
Yeah, he's
scooter
like, hey,
thing,
I'm
yeah.
late. She goes, well, I can think of a way you can fix that.
Let me take this blue pill and I'll get back to you in half an hour.
Yeah.
No, we're fucking with Dutch. We love Dutch.
You love Dutch.
Dutch is amazing. So it's Dutch doing an interview with Lashley and Matt Sydal. This is again a build up to their Destination X match next week. I thought this was a great interview by both of them.
It was a great interview. But can I mention how great the Super X Cups has been lately?
We're getting there. We're getting calm it, pull it in,
What?
pull it in, rein the excitement in. We'll get there.
Fine.
Okay. So this was great. It ended in a pull apart, but the talking segments were really good. I liked the little things that Lashley was doing, putting down the X Division, putting down Sydal personally, saying that he's come for war, and Sydal repeating with, well, dude, I'm here for peace, but it doesn't mean I'm going to lose.
Bloody hippies.
Yeah, he was such a hippie. It was, but it was good. Like,
Get a job, am I right?
but the fact that he didn't like bend down to Lashley, he stood face to face with him at the end.
He practically did.
He didn't. This worked well to build towards the match, I thought. Next, we had a snippet of Bruce and Karen talking backstage. We heard about this last week. Don't know what it's about, but apparently Bruce is going to make an announcement next week.
I think he's going on a diet.
Okay. We can only speculate what it's going to be, but with Bruce's recent predilection to screwing EC3, I think, well, actually, it's my fantasy, my dream, my masturbatory desire that they destroy the Grand Championship. So he retires the Grand Championship straight out from under EC3.
What, you telling me Bruce will be a hero if he does that?
That's with the face turn, as far as I'm concerned. That's the biggest face turn of all time. Next up, we had L.A.X. versus Veterans of War. It's a street fight for the tag team championships. And in sticking with street fight rules, at least one person has to be wearing jeans, and Conan took that place.
Our boy Conan had to do what he did.
Thank you, Conan. So Conan understands wrestling tradition, because the only difference between a street fight and a hardcore match is jeans.
Bloody millennials, am I right?
Yeah, seriously.
Get your shit together, guys. Come on.
So, but at least Conan
Put your
represented
jeans on.
the tradition and had these jeans on.
I know, right?
This was actually a really good match as well. This
I
was
like this
interesting.
match, yeah.
It was quite brutal. Wilcox gets his nose broken very early on in the match, so he's bleeding from the nose for a majority of it. And not like running out of his nose, like on top of his nose.
Yeah.
Like
So
that's
when you know
brutal. That's fucked.
Yeah.
There was kendo sticks and garbage bins and tin things and
I swear
tables
there was weapons,
and chairs.
weapons thrown around every 60 seconds. It was crazy.
No, dude, it was more than that. It
Yeah.
was like every 30, 20 seconds somebody was getting belted with something. It was brutality. It was a war, quite literally, in the presentation that they gave us. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the big spots were good, even though people were quite protected if you watch it closely. They look spectacular. Some of the outside of the ring work, there was one bit though where Crimson almost drops Homicide very, very badly onto the steps.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
That was rough. But other than that, everything else looked quite safe. I thought Wilcox for the first time looked really good. He's just been sort of no talky, hit a couple of big moves guy in the background. Whereas he really took the foreground in this match.
Off-White Batista was going off tonight.
Yeah, it was good. Being the fact that Crimson got handcuffed by Loki at one point, it was the majority of Wilcox doing the work and doing the heavy lifting for the team. The ending was really good as well. So Ortiz does the, on all fours. Remember when Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy used to do that?
Yeah,
Jeff would run off him. So Santana goes running off him and cannonballs Wilcox through a table.
That was mad.
And he's such a big dude. The table just fucking disintegrated around him.
Yeah.
Oh, his head just appeared out of nowhere. You're like, the fuck? Like, it was quite vicious. And then obviously Santana takes a win because Wilcox has been destroyed through a table. Even though the match is over and L.A.X has won, I think Homicide just randomly throws the bin at Crimson for no reason.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was good. This is a really good match. This is how you do a hardcore street fight type match. And everyone kind of looked good.
And think about it, most of the time it was in the ring.
It was. It was. And it made LAX look the same as they always do. They're the vicious heels, rah. I think it elevated Wilcox. Because, like, we already know Crimson, or whatever they want to call him these days. But it really elevated Wilcox and showed how much of a powerhouse he is, taking all of those moves, one after the other, and still standing.
Standing and going, yeah.
Good match. Good match. Definitely one that you should check out. Next up, we had the other half of the six-man tag team main event promo with Sanjay Dutt, El Patron, and Matt Seidel, saying that they want a piece of their respective competitors at Destination X, but at the same time, they're going to watch each other's backs tonight.
We'll see.
Well, their faces, they don't turn on each other.
Oh. I want them to.
No, not tonight. So what you've been wanting to talk about, the Super X Cup semi-final match between Ishimori and A.C.H. The winner of this will be facing Desmond Xavier at Destination X for the Super X Cup finals. Go.
Oh, that match.
You suck.
What?
This was another really interesting, innovative match. I thought this had very, very unique influences. If you look at the actual wrestling itself, it had some Japanese influence and pacing to the match. It had some indie flips and jump arounds and, flip overs and land on your feet and stare at each other.
Flippy shit.
Yeah, the flippy shit. And then it had some really good technical wrestling. It kind of took bits and pieces from everything and created its own little montage of a match.
It was a good match, yeah, definitely.
I thought A.C.H. looked really good. I think he's got a really strong character.
I like his character.
Definitely. Ishimori looks like Japanese Petey Williams. Like, how cut is that guy?
He is pretty cut. He's pretty chiseled.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
What's he got? Like a 56 pack?
I counted. It was close to that.
Yeah, that's just like a pack on top of a pack on top of... Like, what the fuck, man? That is nuts. That's somebody who hasn't seen a gym he didn't love. Or a mirror he didn't love.
Oh, God.
But again, I really like this match. And regardless of the outcome, with Ishimori getting the win after 2 450 splashes for the pin, because that's what it took to keep A.C.H. down. Regardless, no one came out of this match looking bad. It just means Ishimori's moving on to the finals. A.C.H. isn't. But I want to see a lot more of A.C.H.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So at this point, Desmond Xavier comes out. He actually shakes A.C.H.'s hand, which is interesting. And then he stands in front of the Super X Cup, the actual physical cup itself. Him and Ishimori shake hands after a little face-off. It's going to be a great final next week.
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
I can wait, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'm stinging. I think this is going to be an amazing match.
Yeah, it was
and one of the highlights of Destination X. I'm saying it now. I'm going to pre-call it. It's going to be one of the highlight matches of Destination X. Desmond Xavier is a superstar.
I'll hold you to it.
Yeah. You better. We had a final L.A.X. promo package. It kind of wrapped up everything that they've done up until this point, and Loki turning and joining L.A.X. as part of the
I love that now
match with
Loki turned. Nowadays with L.A.X. he's like all of a sudden Spanish. He can speak Spanish very well.
Well, we've got to give the heads up to one of our commenters. Bear with me. I'm just going to quickly find it, because I don't want to... Who is it? There we go. The Shadow Ranger let us know that Loki is actually part Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Now, we'll come back to our commenters later on, but it's nice to know that he actually fits into the LAX mold. He speaks great Spanish.
No, he does.
A couple of promos throughout the show in Spanish, which is good. And as part of this promo package, he cuts a little Spanish promo at the end. But I still thought the best part of the promo package was Homicide doing the... at the end.
I love it.
That was great.
He copied me a little bit, but whatever.
They've been... Never mind. Anyway, we are now at our main event. It is Trevor Lee and Loki and Lashley.
Team Elite.
Okay. Versus a team of Sanjay Dutt, Matt Seidel, and Alberto El Patron.
Team getting beat.
Don't put the fist down.
What? That was heaps good.
I have to admit the rhyming was quite clever, especially for you. But I'm not fist bumping.
So clever.
No. I might have too sweeted you, but the moment's passed. It's past.
Oh, whatever.
It's past.
Okay, fine. I'll keep that in mind next time.
So, we have an interesting mix of competitors in this match. I thought it was great that both teams...
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, both teams mirrored each other, though. So you had Patron and Lashley as the two big men of the team. You had two X Division competitors, or four X Division competitors, I should say. Matt Seidel, Loki, Trevor Lee, and Sanjay Dutt. A really different style. This match was... It had a great flow to it, though.
No, it did. It definitely did for all the different style wrestlers.
Yeah, different wrestlers and people who really haven't probably spent a lot of time in the ring together and so forth. It had a great momentum to it. Like, there was a heel moment where they cut Matt Seidel off in the ring and just beat him down for, a few minutes and made it so he couldn't tag himself out. They had the big heroic comeback with Patron, clearing the house. They had, big moves of... I mean, even Patron's suicide dive was amazing. Because that's a big dude doing a suicide dive onto Lashley. They had Lashley destroying everyone at one point. They had everyone got their little moment, but the flow just didn't stop. And the pace in this match was an X Division match.
Yeah, no, it was.
It was so fast.
Well, there was 4 X Division wrestlers, but
Yeah, absolutely. But it was just so fast. And for Patron and Lashley to keep up with the pace, not only keep up, but I think Patron was kind of setting the pace. Like, he was going at 110%. Like, he's got something to prove at the moment. And clearly he's just doing it in the ring. Whatever it is that he's angry about or needs to get off his chest, he's doing it in the ring by putting on amazing matches. So all in all, though, the heel team, what did you call them?
Team Elite
Ended up getting the win when Loki gets the Warriors way on Sanjay Dutt.
Beautiful
But
Warriors
it was Lashley keeping Patron out of the ring that enabled them to get the win, because Patron was not able to break up the pin.
Tactical awareness. Beautiful.
It's not a thing.
Definitely is.
It's not a thing. You're never going to make it a thing.
I'm making it a thing. It's
not a
definitely
thing.
You can see it in front of your eyes. It's a thing.
Just because people say shit to annoy me, it's not a thing.
To me, it is, and that counts.
Good on you. All right. So before we get to our match of the night, we do what we do every week. We give a shout out to our commenters, all the people that say hello to us on YouTube and Reddit.
Hey.
And just before we do that, everybody that watches the show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
I didn't know we were doing this for you guys.
We are. And the new subscribers, we get a couple every week. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution. So let's start with the comments. We have, as we mentioned earlier, the Shadow Ranger, a new commenter.
Ooh, the Shadow Ranger.
The Shadow Ranger. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.
The Shadow Ranger. I wonder if he's part of the Power Rangers.
It could be.
I'll ask him.
Average Boy.
Hey, Average Boy, he's back.
A couple of comments from him each and every week. Thank you so much. Jeremy Williams.
JW.
Impact Wrestling by Anthem Owl.
Yeah, she's doing well.
Vincent is Valentine. You're not getting a card.
What? You didn't let me say it this time.
Nope. Crypto Nut. I think
Kupo Nut.
Kupo Nut. I think this is a new commenter as well. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.
I call him Nut.
And over on Reddit, as always, Smart Guy 297. Thank you so much for your long comment. We always appreciate it. Sorry,
it's actually they're always my favorite comments.
Yeah, they are. You put a lot of thought and effort into it. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to actually reply in great detail this time. I did reply, just not in huge detail. Please keep commenting. So now our comments of the week. Do you remember what yours was?
Of course I remember what mine was. It was the good old Impact Wrestling Anthem L, and her comment was, EC3 treats a grand championship belt better than most guys treat their girlfriends. Which is fucking true.
It's true. I think EC3 was going to make sweet, sweet love to that championship.
And you know what? I was getting a half a chub just watching him do it.
I think that's why he's not here. He might have metal burn.
Yeah. I'm not doing anything to give you.
All right, so my comment of the week, and one that's going to lead us to a little bit of a discussion. And
I love having discussions.
I do, and something that's been griping me for quite some time. So Jeremy Williams commented, "Yo, I'm just as tired of this grand title MMA shit as y'all are."
Y'all are.
If I was TNA, I would host a live funeral for that title, throw it in the dump can, burn it, and have all the grand title winners pee all over it while Hallelujah plays in the background. This ain't fucking MMA. I totally agree with you. And if you go back and listen to shows from months and months and months ago, when they first debuted the Grand Championship title, we were excited about the potential of having wrestling matches that have rules like an MMA fight, that you have the 3-minute rounds, 3 rounds, so on and so on. But as soon as they ruined it with that scoring system, it was just done.
Yeah, out of the window.
It was done from night one. And so it's been, bugging my ass ever since. It's so fake that it makes everything else look so fake around it. It's just so bad. Like, just make a regular title.
And it's shit too, that like we actually have good matchups in the Grand Championship, but it's like it's for the Grand Championship.
Dude, 3-minute rounds with all the crap in between and all the rest of it means it's basically a 10-minute match all in all, right? I would have loved to see EC3 and Moose in a 10-minute match.
Oh.
But it gets broken up by the in-between rounds and bullshit and all the rest of it. And, one person's got to win one round, the other person has to win the other round. It's just annoying. Like, it's too predictable. It wasn't executed well. It had a lot of potential if it was done right. If they scored this properly, like, at the end of the first round of the first Grand Championship match, if whoever it was, and it was like 9-7, bang, automatically believable.
They used to do some things right? For example, like when Moose won the round in like 30 seconds and stuff like that. That was cool,
Yeah. They did a couple of things, but all in all, it's been a joke. I think it's time to piss it off. I think Jeremy Williams is absolutely right. They need to destroy this title, or at the very least, change it to something else. Change it to the TV title. It has to be defended every week on TV or something. Or, and if you don't defend it for 2 weeks because you're injured, you automatically get stripped of the title. Right? Things like that. So it's not like unfair.
Just no Grand Championship.
Just no Grand Championship. It's just an awful fucking idea that was... It was actually a very good idea that was just executed so awfully that it destroyed it. First night out. Night out, you were like, oh, this is bullshit.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Grand Championship. And I think the announcement that Bruce Pritchard makes next week is, as I said during the show, is a great opportunity for him to screw EC3 again by retiring the belt while he's holding it.
I wouldn't mind that happening.
Yeah, not at all. So, match of the night.
My match of the night, You know what? I'm going to have to go Congo Kong versus Joseph Parks and Grado.
Oh, how did I know this is coming?
What? It was a great match. It was a handicap match. We don't see much of those.
It was a fun comedy match. I'll give you that.
It was not a fun comedy match. It was a serious world-class match.
I like the fact that it led to the setup of Tyrus and Congo Kong. Hopefully they have a match at Destination
Yeah,
X.
it will be the Battle of the Giants. We can't wait.
That would be actually pretty cool. My match of the night, I was almost, like I was an inch away from going the main event because it was good and it was well executed and great paced. And again, somebody actually commented multi-man matches are usually a mess, but the TNA's been doing them fantastically. I totally agree. But Ishimori versus A.C.H. was really interesting.
Oh, the Super Cup match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Never mind. It was really interesting. It, as I said during my review of the show, the mix of styles and the the mix of competitors and the having a bit of technicality and having a bit of Japanese style and having a bit of X Division style and having a bit of everything. The characters were great. Both of the competitors looked fantastic and had an interesting clash against each other, with A.C.H being a bigger dude and Ishimori being the faster dude. Yeah, all in all, I just really enjoyed it. It was just one of those matches that you just saw something great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad that we didn't pick the same thing this week.
Yeah, so am I, because I hate picking the same thing as you.
So do I.
So what did you guys think? Let us know in the comments below, either on YouTube or Reddit. We reply to everyone regardless. We'll do our comment of the week next week, and we appreciate everybody that takes the time to write anything to us.
Yep, I always do too.
You do.
Yeah, I love a good comment read here and there.
Well, we learn things. Like, I didn't know that Loki was half
No,
Puerto
I
Rican.
didn't. Not at all.
So I'd love it. We learned stuff from our fans and our commenters and our community.
Thanks, community.
So until next time, thank you so much for listening. I've been your host, The Stooge.
And I'm the one, the only, spectacular G-Banks.
You're throwing me off with that.
What?
Just the finger click. You went full Fonz.
Yeah, what? It was mad.
Everyone knows you don't go full Fonz.
You're lucky I'm not wearing my leather jacket on you right now.
And don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge cares not these things.
Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.
What's with the Japanese teenage girl?
I went to a Japanese karaoke last night.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.